Margaret here. I am here with my June TBR. My apologies, the natural light is fading because I have terrible timing, but I have to get this done. Also, I'm in my workout clothes, but I don't care, so you shouldn't either. So, there are quite a few things going on in June that I'm very excited about. The first thing I want to talk about is the Around the World Challenge, which is hosted by the BookTube Reading Buddies, and I will link their Goodreads group down below. So basically, the members of the group nominated and voted for a bunch of books from around the world, either set in a variety of countries or by authors from a variety of countries, and then you get to choose how many you want to read and which ones you want to read. Super fun. It's very similar to their Fantasy February challenge, and they also did a Spooky Reads challenge in October. So, I'm only reading 3 from this challenge because there were a lot more that I wanted to read, but then I would have had to buy them, and then my birthday book haul will be up soon, and you will understand why I couldn't buy any more books. So, the 3 that I'm reading, because I already own them, are The Thing Around Your Neck by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. This is her short story collection. I am so excited because I loved Americana last month, and I loved Half of the Yellow Sun when I read it last year, and so I cannot wait to see what she does with the short story form. Similarly to her novels, I believe that the settings in this are kind of split between Nigeria and the US, and I'm so thrilled to be reading this. So I will have that. Then I have The Elegance of the Hedgehog by Marilla Barbary. This is a French novel. It was translated from French. And this is the Anchor books? Nope. Europa edition of this book, and I really like these editions. I don't really know what this is about. It's set in a hotel, and it's a story about the concierge and also a little girl who lives in the hotel, maybe? I'm not sure. But I've heard that it's kind of slow to start, but that the ending is really, really good. So I'm hoping that I can persevere and that I will like this a lot. And then lastly, I have quite a huge book. The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. Of course, she is from New Zealand, and I believe this will be my first ever New Zealand read, which is a shame. But heard wonderful things. Man Booker Prize winner. You've all heard about it. I really don't know that much about the plot, considering how much hype it's gotten, but I'm going to love it, and this is like the biggest thing ever, and I love it so much. So, I will hopefully be starting and finishing this in June, but I will at least be starting it. The next thing that's going on in June is Japanese June. This is hosted by Colleen at Little Ghost Creations, Mercedes from Mercy's Bookish Musings, and Sabrina from Unmanaged Mischief. So I'll link all of their announcement videos or TBRs down below. I believe that Vanessa from Chbosky is also joining in now as well, and they're going to have a live show at the end of the month. But I don't have enough Japanese literature, and I honestly don't know enough about Japanese literature to have all Japanese literature books for the month of June, but I chose 3 for the 3 challenges that Colleen has set. So one of the challenges is to read a book by a female Japanese author, and for that, I picked Banana Yoshimoto's Hard Boiled and Hard Luck. This is a bind-up of 2 novellas, and I believe that both novellas have to do with female characters experiencing loss and grieving. Sounds very similar to her book Kitchen, which I read last year and loved a lot. So I'm very excited to read more from her. The next challenge was to read a Murakami novel, and I, of course, recently purchased Kafka on the Shore, so I will be picking this up. I'm super excited, always really excited to get into a Murakami novel, and I've heard really great things about this when Stephen from Steve Reads Books and Sabrina from Unmanaged Mischief read it in April, I believe, for hashtag Year of Murakami. So, I'm hoping I'll love this. I know that there's a talking cat in it, and it's a dual narrative story, and I love all of those things, so I'm sure it'll be great. And the last challenge was to read a graphic novel. I have a little bit of trouble with this one. Had to do a little bit of research to find one, because I don't know that many Japanese graphic novelists. Anyway, I decided to get The Pushman and Other Stories by Yoshihiro Tatsumi. He's said to be the father of the modern Japanese comic, from what little I read of him. And this is short stories, and it was edited by Adrian Tomine, so he's pretty popular. And I'm really excited about this. The art is very simplistic, but pretty cool. And I love short stories and I love graphic novels, so I can't imagine that I won't love this. And I'm hoping I do because he has a lot of work out, and I would love to check more of it out if I like this. The last thing that I know of so far that I'm going to participate in June is happening the first week of June, and that is the TBR Takedown readathon. I will link pertinent links down below. It's from the 1st of 7th of June, and it's a readathon, but it's also about reading books you already own. And there are 5 challenges for this readathon, and I would like to read all 5 of them. 3 of them I can use books that I've already shown you. So the first challenge is to read a book that's been on your TBR shelf for over a year. And for that, I'm actually going to read An Artist of the Floating World by Kazuo Ishiguro, which I've had forever. It's quite short. I've read Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro 2 years ago, I think. And I really enjoyed it, so I'm hoping that I love this as well, and I've had it forever and really need to get to it. The next challenge is to read an unread sequel, and for that, I would like to finish up the Cemetery of Forgotten Books series so far with The Prisoner of Heaven by Carlos Readathon. This is really short compared to the other books in the series, which of course are The Shadow of the Wind and The Angel's Game. It is a kind of thriller mystery series set against the backdrop of the Spanish Civil War, and it also has to do with books. Anyway, I really like the first 2 books of the series, and I'm excited to finish this out. Usually these books are really quick reads, so I can't imagine not getting to it, and I really hope I do. The next challenge is to read the first book in a series, and for that I'm going to read The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. I have never read the original Wizard of Oz, so I'm super excited about that. Again, this is great for your readathon. It's a children's classic. It's pretty short. The font is pretty large, and I think that I will enjoy it and be able to get through it pretty quickly. The next challenge is to read something from out of your comfort zone. So it says different genre, mixed reviews, etc. For that, I just went with The Pushman and Other Stories because I know nothing about the author. And I don't know that much about more classic Japanese comics. So I am kind of going in blindly on this, so I decided that this is definitely pushing me out of my comfort zone a little bit. And then the last one is to read a book from your most recent haul. I've already filmed this haul. I have no idea if it's going to go up before this or not, but either way, I'm going to use Hard Boiled and Hard Luck for this because I just bought this for myself for my birthday. So that's 9 books. I am going to draw 2 books out of my TBR jar just in case I don't like one of these or one of them's not catching me, but I'm not going to draw too many books out of my TBR jar. I drew 5 last month and I only ended up reading 3, which is fine. Like, I like to have choices for my TBR and not limit myself too much. So I'm going to draw 2 this month, just in case I happen to finish all of this, or just want a little bit of variety. Alright, so here's 1. Here's 2. I haven't already gone through and picked out the books that I'm already reading this month, so I have no idea if these are going to be doubles or not. Nope. And nope. Oh, excellent choices. I'll be right back. So, miraculously, I've picked 2 short story collections. The first one is In the Heart of the Country by William H. Gass, which I just bought in May. And they are short stories centered around the Midwestern United States circa 1960. Really excited about this. I think I'm really going to like it. And the next one is Runaway by Alice Munro. I, of course, don't need a TBR jar to push me to read Alice Munro, but this gives me an excuse to give to her sooner rather than later, if I so choose to this month. So, that is my June TBR. It's really large, and I think it's going to be really fun. There's so much going on, so again, check out all the links in the description. Please tell me if you've read any of these books and how you feel about them. Let me know if you're participating in the Around the World Challenge, Japanese June, or TBR Takedown. I'd love to hear about it, and I will see you all soon. Bye!